For Samantha and Troy, a desire to camp near a lake ended with the purchase of a year-round home. Adorned with antiques and heirlooms, its most impressive quality is its knack for keeping everyone grounded. But first, we'll visit David, who, along with his family, frequently escape the city in search of downtime. 3 years later, they're still hitting the road, but with a clear destination in mind, their tranquil seaside property.
Yeah, maybe you should come home. You've been saying it for so long. Let the water lift you from the city's undertow. Yeah, maybe you should come home.
Water, deep, flowing, mysterious, ever-changing yet constant. The inspiration of artists and adventurers. It's the foundation of life. We are drawn to it, to watch it, listen to it, immerse ourselves, and for those who choose, to live beside it.
Maybe you should come home.
My name is David Long. I am a tendering manager for an offshore company, and I am from Halifax, Nova Scotia. When I found and purchased this property, we were taking the kids to Bayswater Beach, and we were looking for cottages in the area. And on the way back one day, we came and looked at the property, and then we investigated a little bit further, took a walk around. We thought it was quite nice. I came and took a serious walk around, and we put in an offer and purchased it. The property looked very wild and rugged with lots of blown down trees. It was very hard at the time to see the forest through the trees, as they say. We did see the potential in the area. It was such a remote and isolated area, kind of perfect what we were looking for, being in the city. It was right on the water with, we have a significant amount of water frontage, and we walked out on the point and could see Peggy's Cove and just kind of fell in love. So the build was challenging. My father and I decided we would clear the lot ourselves, and my father was a retired heavy machine operator, so we started cutting and trying to create a vision of what was here and what we could do work with the existing landscape, and figured out where we wanted to build. And it was on a rock outcrop, and then we started looking for designs that would fit the surroundings and the area. Water has been always a part of my life. My family is from rural Nova Scotia, and I grew up spending lots of summers with my grandparents, and I find when I'm on the water or near the water, it kind of helps bring a little calm to the chaos of life. When you enter the home, you come at the entrance. On the right-hand side is my girls' bedroom that has their bunk beds. And then as you rotate around, you'll come to the bathroom, and then you'll basically be on the left, and it'll go down the hall, and the next entrance as you go will be the main bedroom, which is for my wife and I. And then we'll continue into the main living space, and on the right you have the kitchen, and then forward of you have the dining room and the living room area and the fireplace. We took quite a bit of time working with our builder to create a Scandinavian-inspired home with quite a bit of local content, and I guess very energy efficient. It has solar panels, and we have the cathedral ceilings that really, for it is a small home, creates a very open design. The biggest feature is the front window overlooking the water, which is a full curtain wall with the fireplace in front, which is pretty amazing. The heart of the cottage for us is in the main living space where we have the sofa and the fireplace and the beautiful view of the water, and it's really easy to sit back and just lose a couple hours relaxing. I often sit and gaze out the window and watch storms, or there's also a local yacht club nearby that there's sometimes boats that sail by, or just people coming outside out the harbor with their sailboats. Our house is inspired by Scandinavian architecture and very similar to the coastlines there with the granite and the rock, and it falls into place with the local landscape as well. It's very minimalistic. It's exactly what we're looking for. It's compact, very efficient use of space. As when you walk around, everything has a purpose, and everywhere there is a purpose. So when you come into the property, you're running down a private lane. My father did a great job of stacking 2 granite boulders on either side of the entrance, which makes it very easy for visitors to see. So once you hit the house, you'll drive down the hill, and we have multiple tiers in front to kind of adjust for the steep hill. And then we have a couple rock oak crops that are now clover fields. And then you will start to meander down to the water, and we have a nice gravel path all the way down, and you walk right out onto the Atlantic Ocean. It's Owl's Head Island, and I guess it's pretty infamous because there's a castle built out there. Somebody built it for their wife because they thought they deserved it, and it's a pretty unique feature in the area. It's a great community and pretty tight-knit. My favorite thing about the exterior of the home would be the rustic landscape, giant boulders that were on site that we just kind of made work, and they line the path down to the water. It's quite interesting using the materials and everything that was on site to create the landscape. So on the way down to the water, it's probably one of my favorite spots. I moved down a couple Adirondack chairs. Typically I'll have a beer down there and take a look at the Southwest Cove Island and Owl's Head, Peggy's Cove Lighthouse, or if it's late at night, I can see the red light of the navigation on the Peggy's Cove Lighthouse flashing. It's quite nice. My kids are pretty excited usually to come down. It's at times they miss their friends, but we've made some new ones around here, and there's a little cove that we typically go down to, and they love finding little sea creatures, and there's always hermit crabs, or I think the other week that we found an Atlantic torpedo. We saw lobsters, crabs, there's little baby eels and fish running around, so it's just so nice to have your own little private area to enjoy. We'll invite some friends down, or my father loves to come down and help me clean up the woods and make giant bonfires. Cleaning up is an important task, especially after everything that happened this year. What I like most about living by the water is being able to go for a swim or go for a paddleboard or run out onto the water. The really amazing thing is seeing the power of the water in storms, and if you can see the island out there, the waves crashing, and that peaceful sound of waves crashing on the shoreline. When I have free time here, typically we will, if it's Saturdays, there's a local market which we like to go to. We also enjoy running to Bayswater Beach, which is one of the nicest beaches in the area, maybe in Nova Scotia, with the white sand, nice and long. Kids love running there and going boogie boarding, or just playing in the water, building sandcastles and that sort of stuff. We enjoy making fires at night, making s'mores, just doing all the outdoors campfire stuff. We use a fire pit probably every time we come. It's make a little fire, have a drink and relax, and kids will roast hot dogs, or do what kids love to do with fire pits is usually burn marshmallows. At night, when everybody goes to bed, that's when I like to burn my brush and kind of sit back and have my own quiet time with the fire and have a beer or and relax. So it happens quite often whenever we come. My friends and family think when they first saw it, it was might have been a bit of a risk, but now that they see what has come, they're pretty happy for us and enjoy coming to visit and just relaxing by the water. Company comes depending on the time of year. It's sometimes we like to enjoy it for just ourselves, and other times we do have some friends who have cottages nearby, and we've made friends with the neighbors. So we typically have some friends and family over quite often. I think people like living by the water. One, it's just such a calming piece of nature. It's always spectacular what you can see around. The sound of the waves crashing and the power of the ocean is pretty mesmerizing at times. So I think it's just something that attracts people. It definitely does for me as well. What makes a home for me is really a place where you can be with your family and be together and enjoy each other's company. And when you're building something together, it brings you closer, and that's really what life is about. For me, it's the family and being together. It would be a very difficult task for me to leave or sell this place. It's been quite a journey to get here. Lots of ups and downs and challenges, but now that we have it here, it's pretty fantastic. It'd be very hard to let go. I mean, my thought is when we're ready to retire, we sell our home in the city, and my wife and I will move out here, probably given the housing pricing in the city. My kids will probably get the house instead of selling it, but at least we have another place.
Hi, my name is Troy and I live on Borders Lake.
Hi, I'm Samantha Day. Welcome to my home. A friend of ours lived in a camper on Grand Lake. So he had invited us out for the day, and we loved being on the water at his place. And he said, there's a spot available at the campground. Would you guys like to get a camper and be on the water too? And I said, that sounds really good. So we came home, we talked about it, and then I said, I don't want to go back and forth from our home to a cottage. Why don't we just buy a house on the water? So after several homes, when we stood in the backyard here, looking over the water, we both looked at each other and said, I feel like I'm home.
Some of the things we really enjoyed was the cove where it's secluded and the privacy. It was exciting because we didn't live on a lake at the time or ever before that. We bought this place on a whim. It was just on the internet.
After driving a real estate agent crazy.
It was a Sunday. We on our motorbikes, visiting some friends, and went home in a 4-hour search. And we looked at land and cottages and this place came up. And it was just, okay, let's check it out. Walking in the front door, for me, it was the second or third, because I looked at it 3 times. It was like, yeah, this is a welcoming feeling that comes over you, over us, over me, over you too, probably, I don't know. One of the things that we really enjoyed was how close we were to the water. I used to work as a deckhand on a boat and really enjoyed that experience, and now living on the water, having boats and stuff, it's fun.
When you walk through the front door, you're greeted by a staircase that goes up and down. As you arrive at the top of the stairs, to your right, there's a very large living room with a large fireplace. The kitchen and dining room were opened up, so that you can be in the kitchen preparing a meal and talk to your company. So you can see people at the dining room table, see people sitting in the living room. As you walk up the hall, there's a full bathroom with 3 bedrooms, including our master bedroom. One of the bedrooms we've turned into an office space.
You walk in the front door, you can go up or down. If you come down, it's bottom of the stairs. Take a left, that's TV. Take a right, and that's behind me with the bar, where lots of fun can be had there. I repurposed this quartz. It was different. We had to get it cut, and it was a custom. We designed the cabinets to fit a certain brand of beer box that you could fit 2. It's backup storage beer boxes. So it's kind of funny.
We couldn't figure out what to do with the space.
We bought the quartz 2 years, 3 years before we made the bar, because we couldn't figure out how we were going to design it.
So with the help of our contractor, we came up with a design that we really liked, and thought that the rough marble would look really good with the quartz.
Great place to have a drink, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5, and have a fire.
You like the garage. You seem to go there a lot.
Yeah, I really enjoy the garage. It's not finished because we're,
In the middle of it.
yeah.
We just
but
started that.
when it's done, I'll be there a little bit more, I think. Just because I enjoy doing stuff.
So when we first moved in, I really liked the living room because it was so big. But then downstairs, I was going, oh, it needs some work. After we put in the flooring, painted, brought in our own stuff, put in the bar, you know, the wood stove insert, then downstairs became my favorite place.
As we've been here for 10 years plus, it's a privilege to live here. One of the big projects we did was when we moved here, we have a garage with a shed attached, and the shed was rotten, so we knocked it down and extended our garage, which I like. We own our own company, so it's dual purpose now. It has storage for material and supplies. The outside deck, we repurposed it and turned it into some wharves. And we put a beach in, sand beach, for our grandson, and grandson really enjoys digging holes, right to China.
He's always out playing in the sand.
All kinds of squirt guns.
And then next thing I look and he's got his clothes all off, he's in the water,
Now, it can
rolling
be-
around
it
in the
can be a day
sand
like
wet.
today, it doesn't seem to get cold. You know, on the outside lights I have what they call RGB hot lights, so they're smart for your phone, different colors. We're going to have, you know, as we come home, our red and green lights will match up. Guide us in.
The eagles are very big on the lake. So the island just off of shore from our house, there is, I don't know if it's the same eagle, but there's several eagles that sit on they always are perched on the highest branch, on the highest tree. And we have binoculars, telescopes. We like to look at them up close. With all the wildlife on the lake, there's always something to see. It's a very relaxing environment. We get to listen to the animals, listen to the water, and then I can get in the kayak, go for a little kayak spin around the lake, come home, get in the boat, go up the lake, and then at the end of a beautiful day, we like to have a fire at the fire pit, roast some marshmallows. Company will see the fire from the lake. They'll pull in their boat. You see people pulling up in a boat. It's like, this is pretty cool. I like this. On a beautiful day, we'll start the morning off with a coffee, go sit by the water, catch up on what we're going to do for the day, what we've done for the week, and plan our day, which could be fishing, could be boating, could be swimming.
Sometimes we'll go fishing off the wharf or jump in one of the boats and just try our luck. Yeah, if you don't catch seaweed, you could catch a trout.
After a long day of work for Troy, I have the boat filled up with supplies. So when he gets home, he can hop on the boat and we go for a barbecue, enjoy the rest of the evening, on the water.
Now that we live on the water, having boats and boat-related toys, it's just a lot of fun.
We often come home, pull the boat in, and light the fire pit. Have some marshmallows, have a drink, listen to some music, and just enjoy the evening. If the weather's turned cold or a little wet, we'll often bring our company into the bar, have a drink, listen to some music, and have a nightcap. It pushes me when I would like to just stay in bed a lot of days. It pushes me when I look out the window to say, don't you throw this day away. You get out in the boat, you get out in the wintertime, our cove will freeze, we'll go out skating, come in, have a fire as well outside. Just to be able to push yourself to say, don't sit in the house, look at how beautiful it is where you live. You need to get out and enjoy this. It's gets you in a good headspace to be able to enjoy your own thoughts. So it's been very healing.
It's important for us as our grandson gets older to share this space with him, and it's important.
Sitting in the rec room to enjoy a movie with a very large TV, full surround sound, and all of the furniture are reclining. So whether it's us being comfortable or our company, we all like to kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy a movie with a great sound system.
At this point, we did a few renovations and we have a couple more to tackle. I think that'll be done and that'll be our own.
The next renovation we like to do is blowing out the front entrance. We find it, when we both even come in, the two of us, too small.
At some point, we're gonna tidy the grass up and hopefully we won't wreck it anymore.
We have a garage in our backyard, that's the problem. I mean, we're driving on our grass constantly, which is not ideal. If we could think of a renovation to
maybe put a road
pave the entire
maybe put a
backyard,
road in or something.
I don't know what we can do. That's why it's not done.
This is the first home I've owned and it's awesome. Home for me is defined by being with my family and my beautiful wife.
Home for me is being able to nest. I'm a nester. So I've purchased my first home many, many years ago, and I've owned many homes on my own. So home for me was always very important. Home is family. I'm a mother of one. I'm a grandmother of one. So having a place for my son, for my grandson, to gather with your family and friends is very, very special for me. The thought of not living on the water or selling the home is not something I can entertain anytime soon. I hope that this is where I'm at long into my golden years. The thought of leaving is not something I'm looking to entertain at all.
I couldn't see myself living anywhere else. When I know Sam's home and I'm gonna go see her, I get pretty excited. It's a privilege that she's here with me.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.